Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and we got the red memo, red shirt memo.
Red
Hope
shirt
you did
memo.
too.
Yep.
Together, we're Backyard Musings, Apple Valley, California.
Talking science and technology again today.
Alaska may soon gain critical seconds or even minutes of advance warning before a major earthquake strikes, thanks to a new study modeling the effectiveness of early warning systems across the state. A new report finds that in many earthquake scenarios across Alaska, an early warning system could offer at least 10 seconds of advance notice before intense shaking begins. That's enough time to get to a doorway, right? 10 seconds. Grab your child, too.
If you're quick.
Yeah. Would you like to know more?
Researchers Alexander Foskos and Michael West from the University of Alaska Fairbanks say that increasing the number of seismic monitoring stations and improving their distribution could boost that lead time by additional 5 to 15 seconds. Alaska is one of the world's most seismically active regions, experiencing tens of thousands of earthquakes each year, including some of the most powerful on record. That's extraordinary to me.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole region is like active, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And it's a big state, bigger than Texas.
Oh, and, yeah, 3 times the size of Texas, I think.
And not only installing, but monitoring, and then the maintenance if something goes wrong. I mean, it's a big effort.
And we're talking about a state that is a huge frozen tundra. Right?
Yeah.
In the wintertime, almost all. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it thaws in the summer.
Yeah.
So I would not be averse to government bloat in this example right here to take care of the seismic, maintenance and monitoring and installation of new seismic things. I would not be averse to that. Published on August 5th, 2025 in the Bulletin of the Seismological Society of America, the study could help pave the way for expanding the Shake Alert early warning system beyond California, Oregon, and Washington to include Alaska.
Good with that.
Yeah. I've never had a Shake Alert. Have you?
No.
California?
No. Quote, there was a lot of studies before EEW was widely available on the West Coast where people were looking at different scenarios, says Foskos. Going on with the quote, so we wanted a similar kind of science up here with numbers that are Alaska specific. Makes sense. I mean, I don't know how many earthquakes we have in California. We have a lot, but I don't think it's tens of thousands.
Yeah.
And we haven't had knock on wood, we haven't had a sizable earthquake in quite some time.
Tens of thousands, that's 30 a day. 30 a day.
Yeah. And I mean, we may be, correct me if I'm wrong, from the Caltech seismology department or whatever.
Yeah, if you're watching this, let us know.
Let us know, straighten us out. I'm not trying to,
be the expert.
Dumb down the earthquakes in California because we're known for that, right?
Yeah.
West Coast. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, tens of thousands is that's incredible.
It's crazy. For large earthquakes along major fault lines in coastal south central and southeast Alaska, the models predict warning times between 10 and 120 seconds for magnitude 8.3 scenarios. That's
2 minutes.
Yeah,
2 minutes.
Decent.
That's a decent warning, I think.
Inland crustal faults in interior and south central Alaska showed warning times ranging from 0 to 44 seconds for magnitude 7.3 quakes. For magnitude 7.8 quakes originating along the dipping edge of the subducting tectonic slab beneath Alaska, estimated alerts range from 0 to 73 seconds.
Okay. Another quote, I was expecting decent warning times along the coast and for most of the subduction zone events, says Foskos. Because there's a dense seismic station coverage in these areas. I was not expecting decent warning times for the shallow crustal events. So that was the biggest surprise to him. So, Okay.
The scenarios used in the study vary in earthquake magnitude, depth, location, and fault style, all of which impacted warning times. The researchers' models estimated how many seconds after an earthquake's origin the quake could be detected, how many seconds after origin time on alert could be available, and minimum and maximum warning times at a location.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a geologist and I'm not an earthquake expert.
Hopefully he's watching this.
Yeah. But I know that there are certain areas that, I mean, if I've seen a fault map of this area, like of the South Mojave Desert, and there's some fault lines in our area, but there's a lot more fault lines in certain other areas.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with geology, like the if you're on
Underneath.
rock or sand or dirt combination. I don't know. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, or if and I could
I
be
think it's
wrong.
the something underneath, the plates, under the crust.
Right, but I think people feel it harder if you're on a certain type of
Yeah.
earth or compaction or whatever,
Uh-huh.
or rock or whatever. So anyway, just my thought.
Huh.
Warning times were defined as the time difference between the time of the alert and then the time that the peak ground motion from an earthquake arrived at a location. This definition differs from a more common definition used in EW systems, which ties warning time to the arrival of the initial S wave or shear wave of an earthquake.
I never thought about this. So it would start to, a big one would start to go slowly and then ramp up to that max and then, dissipate. I never, and that could go over 15 seconds, 20 seconds,
Right.
I never thought about that.
Well, and have you ever thought when you're feeling an earthquake? My first thought is where did it originate? It's funny. I've watched local news down in the LA area before on TV, and they'll have an earthquake. The studio will start to shake, and then a few seconds later, we'll feel it up here. And that's what 60, 70 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, it's just kind of weird how that happens. I remember when they had the Big Bear earthquake. I'm trying to think when that was, back in the 90s, I think, early 90s, maybe 80s.
Big Bear up in the hills. Wow.
Yeah. And it was pretty devastating. It must have been the 90s, and it was pretty. Like
well,
I said,
that's sloping. The houses are on slopes, so it becomes unstable. They just roll, right?
Right, and again, depending on the type of geology you're built on. Are you built on rock? Are you built on dirt? Did they bring in fill dirt? And they had a lot of devastation up there, like I said. But it started there, and it came down here because I remember being out in our front yard, and watching our front sidewalk just like roll. It was weird. No damage.
Yeah.
It was just weird. So,
but just did this kind of thing.
Yeah,
wow.
Very, very weird, very spooky. Yeah.
Huh.
So
it makes you think about, the scripture says the second coming, the earth shall roll like a scroll.
There you go.
Huh.
Yeah.
The researchers wanted to use peak ground motion instead to create a warning time measurement that might be more relevant to people as they respond to an earthquake. The initial S wave may not always cause significant ground motion, and strong shaking can arrive 10 seconds after the initial S wave in large earthquakes, they explained.
The study doesn't analyze the time it takes to disseminate the alert, the time it actually takes to send the alert from a radio tower or from a satellite to somebody's phone, and then for them to take out their phone and react to it. That's according to Fosco.
Yeah.
So that's another weird thing, right? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to have it like a vibrate on your phone, but then you got to pull it out.
The Amber Alerts.
Look at it.
The Amber Alert said, it's
right. It's noticeable.
It's shocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it happens all around you, like, whoa,
right.
Because people have their phones. All right, the potential lag time in transmitting data and sharing an alert with the public could be a challenge for Alaska, but I don't think it's going to be insurmountable, he said.
The harsh Alaskan winters and wilderness locations for some seismic stations could also be challenging for an early warning system. If stations go down and can't be repaired quickly. Quote, I think there is definitely a need for adding stations to cover redundancy for remote stations, according to Foscos. He seems to be the go-to guy on this.
Yeah, we could integrate Bigfoot into that for remote areas.
Right.
I mean,
you could
just thinking outside the box.
You could attach them to some elk, right, or moose. I mean, they're on the move, right? I'm sure they're animals. Animals feel those things before they happen, right? Dogs, early alerts.
They start whining. Baba starts crying. Ocean bottom seismometers and more earthquake detection via distributed acoustic sensing, or DAS, would also be welcome additions to a warning system, he added. Quote, coupled with the fact that some of our biggest earthquakes are going to be offshore, tsunamigenic, right, threats, I think OBS and DAS are probably big targets for the future.
Okay.
There you have it, folks.
But I mean, there's no getting around it, right? We're in the earthquake zone, and Alaska obviously is huge. For
Well,
that.
like Utah too, Wasatch. They're the earthquake zone.
They have them.
The temple's getting remodeled for 5 years now for seismic upgrades.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to be done for another couple of years. So, yeah, earthquakes are the real deal. I mean, but I'd rather deal with an earthquake, I think, than a hurricane or tornado. I think, but you get some warning out of those, right? I mean, you can see them coming in, or
tornado.
we
No,
watched
not much, man. You might
Really?
get seconds, yeah. Especially if it's at night. If it's at night, it's seconds.
Right.
During
But they
the day,
do
you'll
have
see it
early
coming.
warnings for those, right? They have early warnings for
Well,
tornadoes.
yeah. Well, I mean, if the sirens go off, I mean, if Twister is any indication of reality, there's seconds.
Yeah.
Especially at night.
They're all bad. Yeah, night's really. Yeah, that's a terrible time because
Can't see
people are
it.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Can't see it. Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.